Am I being selfish? My boyfriend asked me what gift I wanted and he gave me the cheaper version. So this came from one of you guys, and as you know, I don't really have any kind of professional credentials to provide mental, emotional, or psychological advice. So maybe you can just treat this as an opinion rather than an advice, but I hope it will help you. Okay, I'm going to read part of the letter that she allowed me to read. My boyfriend asked me what gift I wanted. I don't ask him for gifts and fully appreciates everything he has given me, regardless of the price tag. However, this time, in all caps, he asked me what I wanted. He makes good money and he asked me what I wanted. So I told him I wanted a pair of gold earrings that's at least 18K and with either a pearl or my birthstone. He gave me a $60 pair from Amazon that's an imitation pearl. I was so pissed. He makes good money and he asked me for what I wanted. Am I being selfish? Number one, you're not being selfish. It is natural for you to expect what you wanted. He asked you and you did your own research. Of course, these expectations were set, and that's how disappointment happens when you expect and you don't get it. So you're not being unreasonable, you're not being selfish, you're not going crazy, you're not even being materialistic. It's just you were made to expect something and you didn't get it. It's natural. But you do have to consider there might be a miscommunication, a disconnect between the two of you. I don't know what kind of a guy your boyfriend is, and this is why you should always talk to your friends or somebody that you know and also knows your boyfriend. But it is a possibility that he simply does not appreciate jewelries, and he thinks that, and I've heard this from my father many times before. Whenever my mom asks him to do something that's related to fashion or jewelries, because he doesn't appreciate any of that, you're gonna have to be very detailed in giving him instructions. Otherwise, it's going to be a total failure. So there might be a disconnect. Maybe he saw something and saw it's pearl and just purchased it. He didn't, probably in his mind, he didn't even entertain the difference between imitation and not, just maybe it's a disconnect. So you have to communicate very clearly. Third, you have to consider the possibility that he was raised in a very financially conscientious family. So maybe to him, if he can cut back on a cost, if he can get something for cheaper, that's what he's going to do. And that is nothing to be ashamed for. That I would actually praise that if he is the kind of guy or the kind of person that would take the time out to research and find something that he likes and still get it for a more affordable price. That's nothing to be ashamed for. In fact, that's a good thing to have, especially in this day and age. So maybe that's a possibility. Maybe he thought, hell, it's a pair of earrings and there's pearl, so I'm gonna get it, and it's $60, and this is what my girlfriend wanted. So you have to understand and see things from his point of view. And fourth, you do need to have a heart-to-heart talk with him. I think you need to get him to understand your point, but also try to understand his point. And I always say this, whenever somebody does something that offends you or hurts you, try your very best to first give that person the benefit of the doubt and listen to his side of the story. In this case, his side of the story. So ask him first, why did you get me this pair? I asked you for pearl, and this is imitation pearl. So why did you give me this pair? And maybe he will be able to enlighten you on his point of view. So give him the time of day. Give him his day in court. And then also try to explain it from your point of view. Tell him that that there's a difference between an imitation pearl and a pearl or whatever. But sit down and talk to him and express to him how you feel, and ask him why he did what he did. Why did he get you the cheaper version of what you really wanted? And just a side note, my mom would always be very exact in giving instructions to my father when it comes to jewelries and fashion. And I could imagine that had Amazon actually existed in their prime, my mom would probably be giving him links to as to know exactly what kind of what kind of gift she wanted instead of having my dad guess, because it has been so disastrous whenever she asks my dad for anything that's related to fashion or jewelry. So maybe next time just give him a link instead of telling him what you wanted. I hope you actually gave him a link. I think being able to sit down and talk about something small like this, because remember, you've told me that you've been with this guy for 3 years, and you hope that someday the two of you will become family, that the two of you will get married and maybe have babies, and I hope that you get that. I hope that you become a family, whether it's just the two of you or with a kid or with dogs and cats and whatever, but I do hope that the two of you will end up being a family. Remember that this is just one day, and the many, many more years that will follow, and being able to work out something small like this one will be healthy for the two of you, because there's a lot more big things that's coming your way. So as a side note, I would say just give him a link next time. Instead of telling him what you want, just give him the link and tell him this is what you get. This is what you get me. So yeah, if anybody of you that's watching this video have any other opinion, if you have a better, hopefully a better advice, please leave your comment down below. Thanks.